Hey guys, people love American Pickers on the History Channel. It's a huge hit.
Yeah, the ratings on that show are through the roof. But it could use a little pizzazz to bring in that 18 to 25 demographic.
Yeah, it does. So we're taking that idea and flipping that bitch on its head. Instead of going into boring old barns in my hoarding bitch of a mother's home, we're sending our guys to different theme parks across the United States.
I'm intrigued. People love shows about theme parks more than Gary likes Filipino prostitutes.
Damn straight.
That they do. So we shot a pilot for you all. We sent our guys out to Kings Island and boy was it exciting. So without further ado, I bring you to our pilot for Theme Park Pickers.
Hey guys, it's Hank here, and we just got a lead on a sweet location for some theme park picking.
We're going to be scouting out some coasters today, and anything else that might tickle our fancies.
Oh, I want to tickle your fancy.
Wow.
So, where are we headed, Mark?
Looks like we're going to Kings Island today. Kings Island is an old park, located in Mason, Ohio. But be careful, just like in Hank's pants, there's a beast back in them woods.
Oh, sounds spooky.
I ain't afraid of no coaster.
You're silly.
We're here with Don Helbig, and he's going to be taking us around the park today, showing us all the wonderful things they have for sale.
Who are you guys?
You're so funny, Don.
No, seriously, are you the new maintenance guys? You were supposed to be here at 2.
Well, I'm Mark.
And I'm Hank. And
we're
we're the theme park pickers.
Hey, Don, how much for that coaster right there? I see it's pretty new.
Well, that's Banshee. Our premier B&M inverted coaster.
BM, huh? Well, it smells fine to me.
Would you take $500?
500 what?
You gotta start somewhere.
What the hell? What are you talking about?
I'll give you $500 for that Banshee thing right now.
That ride cost us $24 million. We haven't even paid it off yet.
Oh, that's okay. How much for this souvenir mug over here?
That's $10.99.
Well, I'll give you $525 for that and the coaster. Okay, I see you're not ready to sell, but we'll break ya, I promise.
Just like Hank broke the bed last night. Hey, Don, would you take $6 for that churro?
Those are normally $4, but sure.
Sweet. How about that tub of popcorn? I'll give you $6 for that.
Sir, if you get the combo, it's only $8.99.
Shut the fuck up, Debbie. Well, Mark, you drive a hard bargain, but you got yourself a deal.
Sweet. Looks like we broke the ice.
Now that we've lubed you up a bit, could we take a look at this Mystic Timbers coaster we've heard so much about?
Nope. But I tell you what, there is this shutout back that you could look through.
Ooh, sounds mysterious.
So, what's in this shed anyway?
Yeah, hashtag what's in the shed.
Well, why don't you have a good look yourself?
It's just 2 projection TVs.
And a broken fog machine.
Don, nobody wants this shit.
Tell you what, I'll give you $800 for the fog machine and Dynamac.
Ride This One Podcast. If you want family friendly, go listen to Coaster Fucking Radio.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Hi everyone, Legend here. You probably already know me as the taller, better-looking, ridden more roller coasters, much more suave and entertaining co-host of the In the Loop podcast. You know, a theme park and roller coaster podcast people actually give a fuck about. Anyway, the assholes here at Ride This One, they asked me to do an introduction for my co-host Drew the Intern, who's apparently special guesting on this week's show. And as I didn't want to end up being boo-fooed in Slater's dungeon, well, I figured it was probably a smart idea. So reluctantly, I agreed. The Ride This One podcast, it's the coaster podcast that no one ever asked for. It's kind of like if Coaster Radio's no-talent, jealous cousin with a felching fetish started their own show. This is definitely not CoasterRadio.com. In fact, this is CoasterGadio.com. Anyway, I mean, really, what can be said about Drew the Intern that hasn't already been said? The man went to college for 7 years, and trust me, guys, he is not a doctor. He's not even remotely intelligent. In fact, he's so dumb, he thinks that Six Flags St. Louis is the best park in the entire chain. Drew the Intern once showed me his penis behind an inflatable water slide. Oh, and by the way, douchebag, you still owe me a new fucking wallet. And without any further ado, here's a bunch of weirdos and Mama Paula interviewing Drew the Intern about fucking his dog or whatever the hell the show's about this week.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Ride This One podcast. You know, we have some really exciting news. We have a great guest this week. Welcome, Garrett Simcox again.
Woo! You're not tired of me yet?
Oh, we so are. We're welcome. So fucking tired of you.
Well, you keep letting me out of the basement.
But hey, I hear you escaped, so... I hear you escaped the basement, so...
I always find a way.
Right?
But we actually have somebody else here who begged and begged and begged, so I'm like, fine. We have the legend here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have Drew the Intern here today.
You know, I would not say beg. If I did beg, I had to have been totally intoxicated, which most of the time I am anyway, because I don't remember begging. I remember a nice casual conversation while I was sitting at the bar at like 11:30 at night. That's what I remember.
Okay, I'm just saying right now that anyone who's messaging me at 11:30 at night is generally after dick. So I'm just going to say you were begging to be on the podcast. So it's one or the other.
I was like, I was after something.
I was after something.
He wanted to increase his podcast statistics. He's
fluff his numbers.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, the whole point of this is the fact that our other co-host on In the Loop, Clint the Dick Novak, never shows up to work. We can plan a time, and he did exactly what I did to you guys. He kept pushing the time back, and eventually we'd be like, you actually coming? He's like, no, I'm not coming. Sorry. Something came up. And that happens every single week. So now we don't even plan around Clint. We're just like, hey, this is when we're recording. If it works, show up. If it doesn't, oh well. But so my goal was that I wanted to be on more other people's podcasts than he actually shows up to his own.
That's great. And I love that you have like officially like downgraded him as co-host. He's not like host of the show. He's just like our other co-host.
Yeah. When he's on, I refer to him as the guest host.
Right. It's definitely true. But seriously, though, welcome. We're glad you're here and all that shit. Obviously, you know, we're going to ask some real basic questions of you and some less basic questions of you. For anyone who doesn't fucking know, I mean, you obviously are on In the Loop, a, you know, not as awesome as us, but successful podcast. I mean, I will.
It is the longest continual running theme park podcast.
I'll give you that one. But you're not the first. And isn't that all that matters?
Well, I mean, so when Coaster Radio and In the Loop started, I was still like in high school. So that should tell you how long both of those have been running for. And now at this point, I've graduated college after 8 years. So... They've been going on, both of them, for a while, so neither one of it was my idea.
Right, and actually that's something I wanted to ask you, and I don't mean to monopolize the conversation, but I've listened to In the Loop a long time, and I still have not quite picked up, what the fuck was your major, or how many times did you switch it?
So I originally went to West Virginia University as a sports management major, because I thought Sports Center was cool. And after like 6 months of taking classes about exercise science and muscles and all this stuff and all of that crap, I was like, this is not for me. I do not give a shit about any of the muscles in the human body. And so I switched to communication studies because that was great. Started working at Cedar Point, and then people from Cedar Point were like, oh, we're doing the Disney college program. And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. What is it? And they're like, you drop out of school and you go work at Disney, and then you eventually go back to college, which is what I did. So I dropped out and I said goodbye, West Virginia, moved to Orlando, where I found out people major in theme park management. So then I started over and eventually graduated with a theme park management degree.
Awesome. So basically, in like 10 years, I'm going to be like manager of a Dunkin' Donuts. So.
Yeah, basically.
Well, either that or he'll just never show up to his own podcast. So you're from Florida. What's your? Are you excited about the new Infinity Falls water raft ride, Drew?
So, you know, it's kind of funny. I live across the street from SeaWorld, so whenever they build new shit, I'm excited just because it gives me something to do. It could have been a goddamn churro stand, and I would have been excited.
Are you doing, like, construction updates on it?
So I actually find those to be a complete pain in the ass.
They are.
I do it for Disney because the Disney annual pass is really expensive. So I want In the Loop's YouTube channel to cover that, which is why I do the Disney ones. But SeaWorld's annual passes are way cheaper. I can afford that without In the Loop's help. So I really don't care. And the other problem with Orlando is there's so many bloggers, and then there's people who think, oh, this looks easy, I can do this. So then there's shitty bloggers. So you have elite bloggers, good bloggers, and shitty bloggers. And all of them cover SeaWorld because SeaWorld will love as much press as they could possibly get.
That sounds a lot like me with a podcast and not realizing it's a part-time fucking job now.
You just thought this would be a fun hobby, do it on the weekends, talk to some people.
Oh, this is fun. No, fuck every second of this. No.
Got barely any hair left to pull out. Jesus.
Gotta talk to y'all fucking jack-offs every week. But no, actually, personally, I love the raft rides like this, especially ones that don't kill you. But this one actually, I think it looks cool.
That's my question. This new setup, is it set up so that they don't stack and flip over? Is that why they're installing the new lift?
I just think it's a new lift because it looks cool, and in Florida you need something different that looks cool.
That's all it takes.
I agree.
Right there. There's a marketing.
I think that's absolutely true because I thought about that for half a second. I'm like, is this because of that accident? And I thought, no, not enough time. Like if this was coming like in 2019, I might say maybe that's why. Maybe they're just switching it up. But the problem is I don't think this is going to do shit for the park. It's like, no one cares.
The problem is you've got Universal building cool shit, Disney being Disney, and then you've got this third park here with SeaWorld.
Cool shit.
So,
Jimmy fucking Fallon. Yeah, cool shit.
Fallon was fucking awful. And that's coming from someone who's ridden this ride way too many times. But Potter was cool, Kong was cool. So they have cool shit, and they're still riding that Potter hype train for as long as they possibly can.
Well, hell yeah, they deserve to.
Yeah. And then you have Disney riding the We Have Mickey Mouse hype train forever. So then you've got SeaWorld that's like, we have Shamu, and everyone's like, well, fuck that shit.
Everyone's looking for something to replace Shamu. I think it's great that they're going more towards the direction of thrill park rather than educational park because they need to do something, right?
Because nobody wants to learn on vacation.
No. Fuck no.
At least not in Florida, that's for sure. So what's going on with this new Kraken statue?
Apparently there's a hole in it.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a hole in the Kraken statue.
Apparently there's someone took like a sledgehammer and like hit the fucker in the face is what it looks like.
Oh my god. What? Now why would someone even do this?
Well, it's because they're so excited about VR that they're redoing the entire queue. Like seriously. That makes no sense to me.
It doesn't.
Unless we're going to get VR when we get in the queue, and then we're just going to follow the VR through the queue, and then we'll miss all the trash on the ground. Dude, that's brilliant.
You're going to step in somebody's slime goop, and you're not going to realize it? Like say someone shit the floor or something? I don't know.
That also, it'll improve ride ops because they don't have to clean the trains if somebody has issues, has a protein spill or something. You don't really have to, you don't have to clean it much because, I'm not going to see it.
And you're not going to see what your ride op looks like, so they could be really hot fucking chicks and shit like that too. Virtual reality ride ops.
There you go.
Maybe they can
go.
Maybe they can just make the VR fit to your ride up of choice, which would be ideal. So, I mean, me and Goliath are going to have very different tastes.
Fucking better. Whatever it takes.
His is going to look like a wooden coaster, and it's going to shake him like he's like a shaken baby.
Oh, well, it'll have
nice
wood.
And smooth.
It'll definitely have wood. Definitely have wood.
Any coaster that Slater's riding is a wood coaster.
Always a wood coaster.
He brings his own.
So Drew, one thing I don't know. Now, you explained a little bit, as far as what you did for college and stuff. Is that actually how you got in the hobby? Is it kind of like the same story, or were you kind of into it beforehand, or?
My family vacations growing up always involved an amusement park along with going to some city. Like, I remember as a kid going to Six Flags St. Louis and seeing the St. Louis Arch.
I'm sorry. That is such a shit park. Anyways, sorry. I apologize.
But so like I remember that as a kid, and this is like pre Mr. Freeze, like that park.
God. Oh God.
And so it's just always kind of grown up going to parks. I grew up in Ohio for a while, and so Cedar Point and Kings Island were there, and then I moved to Rhode Island. So I had Six Flags New England. So I just kind of always went to theme parks. And then I didn't feel like going home for the summer during college because I had way much more fun, getting drunk and not living at home. So I applied to Cedar Point because they had housing. And then I was pretty much, after about a week of doing that, I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to do this forever.
So, like, you moved a ton. Were you, like, parents in the military or something?
No. My dad just kept getting promoted and switching jobs and all this kind of thing in life. So he moved us around quite a bit.
Okay, so promoted is term for town drunk and run out of town. I get it. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I was completely oblivious to this when I was 6.
Dad just got angry sometimes and yelled, and we moved at 3 a.m. occasionally.
And it was like, got the U-Haul and started loading it up.
Just like, leave it behind. We don't need it.
And then we changed our family names.
Your name's not really Drew, is it? I knew it.
He's in witness protection.
God, if I was in witness protection, the last thing I would do is a podcast. Someone would be like, "Oh my God, that's David's voice! I can hear it. Where the fuck is this?"
Actually, I'm gonna bring this up right now because this is one thing I need to hear. This is a story I haven't heard, and you probably have told it on In the Loop, but y'all have a lot of fucking episodes, and I'm just not that dedicated. But you've mentioned several times of how, like, a certain crazy person may at one time ruined a date for you because of this damn podcast. So, dude, yeah, I gotta hear this.
Okay, so this is goes back to my Disney college program. So I was at Animal Kingdom on a date with this nice female coworker. She was a nice lady, and we were just kind of.
She's a nice lady who I really wanted to bone. So, like,
she had nice attributes.
What?
Okay, so we were just drinking some beers at Animal Kingdom. This was kind of my strategy at the time. And this, like 350 pound sweaty guy walks up.
Damn it, Goliath! It was fucking you asshole!
And he sticks his head in between the two of us as we're kind of holding hands on the pathway, and he goes, "I like your podcast."
Wow.
and she was like, "Excuse me?" And I was like, "Oh, hey, thanks. Like, have a good day." Like, kind of like pointing my head at female, like, "Hey, like, get the fuck out of here.
Step off, man. I'm busy."
and then he was like, "Don't you know who this is?" And she's like, "Yeah, Andrew." And he was like, "Oh no, he's not just an Andrew. This is Drew the intern right here. He's a podcast legend." And so female wasn't exactly the most intelligent person. She goes, "What's a podcast?"
Oh God.
And I was like, "Oh, just something I do in the spare time and stuff." And he was like, "Oh my God," he's like, "It's once a week, and there's this podcast, and they talk about roller coasters on the internet, and it's great." And she was like, "Wait, so you sit around and talk about roller coasters on the internet?" And I like bowed my head, and I was like, "Yes." She was like, "Oh, okay. Well, we don't really need to ride Everest if you don't want to." She's like, or you can ride it with him. You guys seem to have more in common about these roller coasters.
Oh wow.
Shit.
Oh.
Jeez. Well, that girl sounds a little like maybe she doesn't share enough interests with you in the first place. I don't know. Did this continue on after?
Oh no. So that was the last time I even tried for like the sorry about that. That was really awkward. Comment later. I got nothing back.
Yeah, hell yeah, it was.
So like,
God.
so that
But
ends that.
You're dating someone now, right?
Yeah. So and then now fast forward like 6 years. Now I'm in a relationship with my current girlfriend who's pretending not to be here,
No, bring her in. She has to at least say hello.
Nope, it's not gonna happen. She absolutely hates this stuff.
Oh, God.
I'm glad that it's not just my significant other that hates this stuff as well.
Everyone here has the same problem, I swear.
So we're at Busch Gardens now, like 6 years later, and this is when I was rather new to Twitter and stuff. Like, this is the first time when Drew the intern had his own Twitter account, and it wasn't just an In a Loop account. And I tweeted about the new show at Busch Gardens. Well, that was a mistake, because some nerd waits outside of the stadium and was like, "What'd you guys think of the show? Like, wasn't it great?" And we're like, "Oh, it was fine." Like, and then he was just like, "What coaster are you guys gonna do next? I can't wait to do it." And my girlfriend's like, "What is going on?" Like, she knows about In the Loop, but she had no idea that this guy like found us from Twitter, and now
wow, you're getting
like
stalked,
following us
stalked
around the park.
Wow.
Oh God. So those are the two really bad times where I had theme park nerds ruin events.
Oh God. Well, sounds like you landed a good one, because she stayed with you. So good job, I guess. I mean,
if she can endure that, then she can pretty much endure anything that this podcast is going to throw at you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little nervous. So we're going on with the coaster crew. We're going to England later this year. Dan, the t-shirt guy, is going on that, and a couple other nerds. And I'm afraid it's going to be too much for her, and that's going to be absolutely awful.
Oh, well, yes, it will be. It's going to be terrible.
Yes.
This is a very male-heavy hobby. There's not a lot of women who can sympathize with her and be like, "Yeah, I'm being dragged along by this motherfucker over here." So your best bet is to immediately, as soon as if there's another girl, be like make friends with them immediately, so they can sympathize with each other on how shitty their partners are. So that's your only hope, and I do hope that you make that. But hey, no, that story actually it's kind of better than I hoped. that's better than I hoped.
It's definitely exciting. That would be one way to kill a boner. Talk about all these people that are, dude. Was that the kid that got married to the roller coaster?
Maybe.
I bet you that was the kid that got I bet you that was that kid.
I don't know. I always imagined him more as kind of a Twinkie asshole. I don't know.
That's true. He's too large to ride T3.
Oh God.
So we've talked about recently, one of the parks in my city that I still haven't been has been teasing something new. And every Tuesday they say, check out construction on this, whatever it is. Well, this week they showed pictures, and it's a racing slide. Now get this. This is the greatest thing. They haven't announced the name of it or anything.
They haven't even announced what it is yet.
Facebook. They haven't. No, all they've been doing is this Teaser Tuesday, showing pictures and trying to figure out, trying to build buzz. So somebody posted, "Oh, hey, I was at McDonald's and I got a $5 off coupon. It says come ride the Lake Winnie 500." And they're like, "Oh,
God damn it, McDonald's!"
So somebody, at McDonald's broke the name of the new ride at Lake Winnie. Now I know Slater's been to Lake Winnie. Have you been to Lake Winnie, Drew?
I have. This was the one time I went to Lake Winnie was during one of those overnight drives to Hollywood Nights, and Lake Winnie happened to be open on the way there. So dragged the girlfriend to Lake Winnie too. of places. So
oh God,
you need to marry this girl.
You better treat her so fucking good.
If she says yes to a spontaneous trip to Lake Winnie, then you need to say yes to marriage. Now.
That's kind of what she keeps hinting at too.
Dude, it's your only chance. If this ends, you're never getting your dick sucked again. So you just better lock that shit down.
Not unless you like Coaster
Once you
Boys.
get married, that goes away anyway.
That's what I hear.
Straight bed death.
That's legitimately my excuse every time. And like, well, see, here's what happens when we get married. 1, we have to share bank accounts, and 2, we can no longer have sex.
Wait. Okay. Right. Sure, yes, the no sex is true, but shared bank accounts? Oh, fuck that. No, don't let them know how you spend your money because they'll be mad on how many fucking souvenir cups you buy, asshole.
Oh, man. I'm looking at like 25 right now.
Oh, that's nothing. See, okay, you mentioned like you collect souvenir cups, and I guess in my head I imagine this wall of souvenir cups because that's how bad I am. Not on souvenir cups, but I collect mugs for my coffee, and it's ridiculous. I'm like saying, what can I get rid of? What can I get rid of to make room?
Yeah, probably more than, I don't know. I probably have more than 25 cups. The problem is when they all started looking exactly the same, that's when I started liking them. When they were looking different, it was not as interesting because you couldn't really tell what the hell was going on. But you know how every single park now has that same whirly top cup? That's like...
Yeah.
That's when I started collecting it because they all look the same and it looks more uniform.
Yeah, but you're in trouble because the new trend might be that they're getting like less souvenir cups and more just like pay one price, cheap disposable cups.
He's going to start collecting paper cups from each park, and he's going to write the name. He's going to use a Sharpie and write the name of each park that he's been. And he's going to keep the paper cups.
Cedar Point.
Oh, God. And
just take a selfie with each soda
on
cup.
This next episode of Hoarders, Drew the intern, and like they're wading through.
Also, the greatest thing about Lake Winnie is they have deals on their website, and if you pay attention to them, you can end up getting in that park for really cheap. We went on, I think it was Tuesday, and it was like Canned Food Tuesday, where if you bring a can of food, you get in for $5. So we went to the gas station across the street, bought 99-cent peas, and then came into the park.
That's like the same deal that the carnival uses to get people to come in.
Oh, yeah.
It's about the same set of rides, isn't it?
I think the best part of Lake Winnie was we rode the Sky Ride, and it definitely says weight limit per car was like 150 pounds.
Oh, God.
And I am over 150 myself. And then my girlfriend rode with me. I'm just laughing like we're at least 3 times the weight limit on this thing.
Even the 10-year-olds here wouldn't be able to ride it.
That's the weight of one husky American teenager.
So so did you just give a way for me to do math and figure out how much your girlfriend weighs?
I'm not very good at math, so maybe not. Like she just ran a Disney half marathon today, so that.
No, thank you.
Wow.
Fuck.
Nope. I don't need to combine exercising and theme parks. It's one thing I hate and one thing I love,
Shut up, you skinny Twinkie bitch.
Oh, whatever.
The running is her thing, so it's actually worked out really well, all these parks having the half marathons and 10Ks and whatnot, because like in a couple weeks we're going to Valley Fair. She's going to run the 10K, and I get to go to Valley Fair. So
everyone wins.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a way to... That's
great.
That's a way to take advantage of it.
So I love that the parks are bringing these races around.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only way to take advantage of these theme park races. Like, hopefully, your girlfriend's okay with exercising while you go just ride theme parks or go ride roller coasters.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is a strong drink here too. Cheers. This was whiskey coffee, and I didn't realize it was half whiskey.
You didn't realize? My kind of person.
No, not until I drank it.
It's like my drink is gone, and it was this. It was all whiskey. So.
Good man. Drew, where's your drink?
That Kraken cup.
Well, I can't. My goddamn webcam isn't working, but I got my classy vodka cranberry.
Okay.
Oh, very nice.
There's not more of a white girl wasted drink than that. So good for you.
I've been up drinking since 9 o'clock this morning when I was at the finish line for the half
Oh my
marathon.
God.
So,
You're literally like my new best friend now because morning drinking is the best drinking. So, like, the best. Get up, get fucking drunk, and then you kind of sober a bit in the afternoon when you eat lunch, and you start all over again, and it's a happy weekend. So,
well, you want to get a rundown of my day
Sure,
today?
yeah.
So,
Yes.
so the girlfriend had to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to be at Disney to run her half marathon.
God.
I was like, I'll meet you
She
at the
makes
finish
me
line.
feel
You
fat.
have fun.
You need to tell her that right now. She's making me feel fat, and I mean, I am fat, but worse than normal.
So I meet her and her friends at the finish line. Meanwhile, I'm already holding a beer. And she was like, well, I want one. So then I went and I finished mine. So I got my second beer. We hung around and wait for everyone to finish. Then we go to Epcot, start drinking there. We have lunch at Epcot at the German pavilion. So you got the big liter steins of beer. And then I am now here podcasting with you guys. So
excellent.
Perfect.
That is exactly what life should be. Just
it sounds like a good Sunday.
No wonder you fit in so well here.
Like at your funeral, like all of the pictures have you like with a drink in your hand. Like he lived a good
one's a
life.
different Stein.
Made it to the ripe age of 52.
Well, since you guys, since you came and enjoy Lake Winnie, really, there's only a wooden coaster there. My question is, what way do you swing? Are you a wood fan? You a steel fan? Where do your alliances
a buy rider?
lie? You're a buy rider. Are you a buy rider like GarBear here?
So my ultimate favorite roller coaster is Magnum XL 200 at Cedar Point, but then you get from that and it's all wood from there. I'm a big wood guy, but I guess I like Magnum because it's a steel coaster and it's awesome and it runs like a wooden coaster. So I don't know, but
so you like them rough, basically. You like a rough ride.
Rough is not the right term. Because I don't really find wooden coasters rough. I say interesting. They have to be interesting. If you're just sitting there and the train's kind of gliding along, it's not really interesting to me.
There you go.
I like a character-filled ride.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, I don't know if we. You know what? I'm gonna claim a win on this one. He's into wood, and I love that I can say here on the podcast, Drew the intern loves a good woody, and you hear that, everybody.
Oh, yeah. He loves to ride a good woody
to ride
too.
A good woody.
Love riding that.
You're gonna read
all day long.
Those big
day
woodies.
long, night long day.
I'm not really sorry.
So since we're
No,
he never is. Whenever he says sorry, it's always sarcastic. So since we're on the topic of wood and steel, and you're a big Cedar Point fan, I gotta ask you, what do you think of this new Mean Street conversion that's happening?
Well, Mean Street was fucking awful. It had to have been the worst roller coaster in the world.
No, it is not. No, it's fucking not. Okay, everyone knows that the only ride I've ridden at Cedar Point was fucking Mean Street because Cedar Point fucking hates me and it's a long story. But it wasn't that fucking bad. It wasn't. Okay. No, it was not great. It was unmemorable at best. But come on.
Well, that's the problem. Is even if it was smooth, it's a boring layout.
I'll give you that.
So even if it was smooth, you do nothing. You don't ever leave your seat. You have giant turns. The drop is trimmed. You do nothing.
I'll give you that. But I mean, I guess when I think of like the worst, I think, God, that readjusted my spine because I've ridden rides that have legit. Okay, I've gotten legit whiplash on a roller coaster. Thank you, Blue Streak at Conneaut Lake Park. But yeah, okay, yes, it's fucking boring as fuck. It's really unmemorable.
So you're gonna take that and you're gonna make the best roller coaster in the world instead. So I say it's a good win.
I'd say it's a definite win for Cedar Point. Are you guys? Have you guys been excited that you finally have an RMC at Cedar Point, or
they don't have an RMC? They're not. There's no RMC. There's just a train. Have you not been paying attention? All there
is a train. Just doing the work on the train. That's it.
Right.
They're just working on the train. Come on.
Has that still not been confirmed? I mean, we just got new pictures of the inversion that's going in on Mean Streak, and it looks badass. Like, is anyone still in the dark about this?
Tony Clark.
Tony Clark. Tony Clark here.
Tony Clark says, "Shut the fuck up."
So the best part about Mystic Timber's media day was the fact that Tony Clark spent the entire day going down to ride host bitch level and grouping everybody. He's like, how many? 2? Row 1. 2? Row 2. You have 4? Row 3? Row 4. All day.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Wow.
Gosh. I imagine his wife's pussy tastes like Lysol. That's what that guy reminds me of. Like, I don't know why, but like, he goes in, he has dinner every evening with his family, the little boy, the little girl. Everything is just super, I don't know, perfect. The perfect yard, all of this, but I really believe he's truly a psychopath deep down. Because he's a fucking troll and a fucking asshole.
He's definitely
He's
got
our
some
type
sort
of
of
guy.
dungeon. He's got some sort of fetish, secret life, something that's going on that we don't know.
Absolutely.
Illuminati, perhaps?
Oh, man, I just assume he jerks off to himself.
Yes. Now
he just goes on YouTube and watches his own videos. Oh, yeah.
That's a fucking sketch right there. Somebody needs to write that one down.
That's happening. I'm writing it down.
Okay.
Tony Clark
jerks off to himself.
Jerks off to himself.
Yeah, and eventually he's going to hear that and be like, you all are banned from Cedar Point.
No. We'll have to come
That's
up with
fine.
secret
We couldn't
identities.
fit on those fucking rides anyway.
Hey now, I'm not that bad. Shit. I definitely fit on Corkscrew and, Iron Dragon, all the old Arrow rides. Nah, it's not that bad. So
No, you don't, because they add a fucking seatbelt to them.
Because it is Cedar Fair. They fucking do it to everything. So
Exactly.
You can still ride Gemini, right?
Shit. I like riding two things at once. Drew, we're really, really glad that you're here, but I'm going to ignore you for half a second, so sit tight there, and, do what you do. Garrett, though, you are GarBear there, over there. I'm just going to try to start calling you GarBear, and I don't know why. Actually, first thing I want to mention is I love that I have a friend who texted me the other day, and his legit words were the day we announced that Garrett here was going to be an official part of the show. He's like, how the fuck did he earn the name GarBear, that twinky little bitch?
And I straight up, I'm telling you, I am what I eat.
Thank you. But no, you went to the Boysenberry Festival at Knott's the other day.
Yes. I was eating something other than bears. Anyways. Yes, I did.
Boys.
I was eating the boys and the berries.
Yes. Now Drew's got real quiet. He's just like, I'm over here.
Oh, God. It's this part of the podcast.
This part
shit.
of the podcast. No, this would be much.
So now he knows how I feel the rest of the podcast.
Right.
All the time.
You're one episode. This is the 10th time for him. The 10th time. And he actually he's met me in person. You can only imagine what that's like. That ride on Still Force was so awkward. I grabbed his dick and Goliath's like, whoa, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I forgot. I was having a good time. And I was
And they've been married ever since.
That's why I was trying to hold on to my lanyard. If you look at the picture, I'm sitting there holding on to my lanyard. It's because I can't.
Yeah. You can say that all you want, but you got a pretty big fucking smile on your face, asshole.
Hey, that was the Raiders train. That Raiders train was magic. Raiders.
Speaking of trains, this thing's going off the rails real fucking quick.
But anyways, yes. Now you went to the Boysenberries Festival. How'd that go?
Well, the boys and the berries were very delicious. The food especially, though, was fantastic.
Wait a second. You eat?
I eat sometimes. Occasionally.
Occasionally.
Well, they were meatballs after all.
And that's the thing.
So.
Occasionally, that's why you're the pretty one.
No, I eat far too much. I don't know. I don't know. I eat like a stoned gorilla that has been released from the zoo. Like, so. Anyways, the Boysenberry Festival.
Better than being shot.
Too soon.
Right now, like if the legend is here, he'd like crawl into a corner and start crying. Like,
was he that big of a Harambe fan?
Oh god,
the legend just jerks off to zoos.
Yes, he does. Shit.
If he goes on vacation and doesn't get to go to a zoo, I hear nothing about him bitching about how the zoo wasn't open or there wasn't a zoo nearby, or the zoo was there but all the animals looked sad.
Oh my god.
The only person I know who goes to Busch Gardens and does not give a shit about any of the roller coasters, as long as he gets to feed the kangaroo.
Anyways, we are getting really distracted from Boysenberry, so yeah, what happened?
We can't get past the name alone.
Right. Don't mention the name. You went to Knott's.
Did you get to eat the fun bun?
I did not eat the fun bun. That thing's year round. I stuck to the just the seasonal stuff this time. You know, I stuck to the meatballs, and I know that's going to send us on another tangent.
Nope.
So I'll just move on to the fry bread, which was the best damn thing that ever entered my mouth ever.
Oh, God. Do you not think about what you say at all?
I do. I'm trying to just
Slater, you
gloss
you're
right
going
over
there.
it.
You're going to go change that, right? You're going out to California. You're going to change it,
Yeah,
right?
but not till January.
No.
Okay, well.
He's going to miss the Boysenberry Festival.
Who knows what he's going to eat between now and January? I mean, who knows?
Right. He might meet up with our Twitter friend.
I'm not going there to hang out with Garrett. I'm going there to hang out with his boyfriend. Have you seen him?
He wants my boyfriend's fun bun, and that's about it.
Let's talk about Knott's for real now. So you had their fry bread. Continue.
I had the fry bread. It was delicious.
So what's their fried bread?
It's basically just imagine a piece of bread, and they shove a bunch of boysenberry in there, and then they deep fry that sucker like it's a little cinnamon sugar empanada, and it almost had like chocolate in it or something. Pretty fucking bomb, honestly. And I went on 420, so I got to celebrate beforehand. So I got really, really high, and then I just munched out for hours on on everything boysenberry. It was fantastic. It's the best way to celebrate.
Wow, a guy who lives on the beach and smokes tons of pot. Who's ever heard of that?
Would you ever have guessed it?
Right.
Listen to my California accent, bruh. Yeah, that's me. That's
So, you were out there, obviously, we've talked about it before. Knott's is, doing some shit. Is there any signs of, markings, construction? Did you see anything we actually care about?
Well, yeah, actually, they've completely ripped out that barbecue joint in front of Boomerang, and if you peek through the little fence, there's a bunch of footers, and you're like, what the hell are these footers for? It's definitely not a new restaurant.
Wait, there actually are footers already?
Yeah, I don't know if they're for like a station or a ride or something,
I would assume
but there's little concrete footers.
All right, they're probably station footers because, like even here at Silver Dollar City, because obviously they're building something right now, they're full swing. The station footers first thing that went down because that's actually what takes the longest.
I hope that's what it is.
It better be a fucking giga. I don't care if they have room or not. They better fucking figure it out.
Boomerang is just, oh my gosh, I'm so happy that it's going, honestly. Like, the only time I would ever ride that damn
on
thing.
it at least.
I did, and I waited like 45 minutes to ride the damn thing, and I'm like looking at my watch going, this isn't even worth it for one last ride.
No, not at all.
Wow, 45 minutes for a Boomerang.
It's never worth it.
And that's with like one zigzag in the queue. That's it. 45 minutes because it's the slowest damn loading coaster that ever existed. And there's 50
you know
of
what
them.
they should do? They should put VR on it. Then that would really increase the throughput.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you just need to put a hole in the Boomerang sign. Put a hole in it.
There you go.
I have a question. Say they remove the Boomerang from Knott's. Now, if they moved that Boomerang and stuck it somewhere in Cedar Point, would CP fanboys be like, best new coaster ever built? I mean...
Oh, God.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised they did that. Because, like, a year ago, they refurbished the train on that thing. And it's, like, fantastic. It's still shiny. The metal underneath is brand new.
It's not getting, like, cut out. They're moving it somewhere.
No. It's going to Worlds of Fun.
They already have a boomerang. God, please don't do that to me.
Dueling boomerangs.
Dueling boomerangs.
You know,
but
I wish they would.
Ride it with anything in your pockets, so you have to stop. You have to take everything out of your pockets, and then you'll be able to duel on the boomerang.
It'll duel for a month, and then they'll stop dueling it, and then people will talk about, man, it was good when it used to duel. Oh, God.
And how amazing it was. That was the heyday of the dueling
Speaking about things that were good when they used to duel, you know, Drew, me and Goliath are coming down your direction. Obviously, thanks for letting us stay at your place. We haven't told you yet, but thanks. That is so awesome of you. Your girlfriend won't mind. There's room in between you two.
So the legend actually has 2 spare bedrooms. So you might want to hit him up.
Oh, gosh.
Hey.
Yeah.
I need to text the legend.
You know, that would be great, except for I think we would terrify the fuck out of him. So I think we're good on that one.
Well,
we eventually want him to come on the show.
I was like, same problem there. You're not going to terrify him. You're going to terrify his girlfriend.
She sounds so sweet. I'm not gonna lie. She sounds like the type of girl like that I you know. Okay, she sounds like my kind of fag hag. That's the best word I could have for it. Like, I'd be really good friends with her, and I'd constantly be telling like Legend to go away because we're having fun. And
I'm stealing.
Like, I know you're into coasters too, but you want to talk about the bears or whatever, the animals too much. And
go feed the
We're
giraffes.
talking about dick. Go away.
Drinks. You go see your kangaroo friend.
I'm sorry, Goliath. This is a gay show. You knew that. You knew that when we had that romantic ride on the sky ride at Knoebels. I warned you. This would be really fucking gay. I warned you then.
I do remember that. That was a magical time, though.
It was. It was magical. Hey, I will say I am not a gold star gay, and if you don't know what that means, probably don't look it up. I don't know what's going to come up.
Gonna Urban Dictionary this one right now.
Right. So, don't knock it till you try it.
A gold star gay is a gay person who has never had sex with the opposite gender.
Yes.
Gold star gays?
Gold star gays, yes. The gay that has never been with a woman. I've hung out with plenty. What?
Even just to see how it feels.
Just to see how it feels. It feels like pudding. No, I'm kidding.
That statement leads me to believe that you are a gold star gay.
No, I'm not. It feels like sadness and pushing yourself down into the deepest, darkest pits of your stomach. But anyways,
feels like feeding a hungry horse.
The whiskey almost came back up.
Yes.
So we got a little bit of a message from someone for you, Drew. It's for all of us, but it's directed at our guest here from the one and only evil Mike Collins.
Yes, it's been a while since we've heard from this guy. He's been busy doing with his fucking tiki hut and bullshit like that. But you know, he took time out of his day to leave us a voicemail just for our friend Drew the intern.
I've heard that he runs some sort of theme park podcast, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
What a played out idea.
The original theme park podcast.
Yeah.
I think that's going to lead to a throwdown eventually. It'll be very entertaining. You know what? I'm going to claim it. We're the longest running original theme park podcast. That's right. It's a lie, but I'm saying it here on Ride This One podcast.
I was going to say, you are the longest theme park podcast that is entirely always intoxicated.
Always.
There we go.
Always.
Entirely always
We're
intoxicated.
the gayest theme park
Always
podcast.
Absolutely.
Longest running intoxicated theme park podcast. There you go.
At least where you can tell.
Hey, you two fuckfaces. What the hell is going on? It's evil Mike Collins here. I know I was on your premiere fucking episode and it's been a little while, but let me tell you, I've been listening. I've been checking out each episode and all the fucking depravity in each one. When I got to hear Goliath jerking off on one episode and then another episode, you guys talking about bobbing up and down on EB's cock of all things. Holy shit. Anyway, you gotta do what you gotta do to get people listening, right? I know all about that shit, man. Well, let me tell you what. I'm making this message coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. But I've got a bone to pick. They got me staying in this hotel, and there's absolutely no view out of my fucking window, man. I'm looking at a fucking brick wall. Don't they know who the fuck I am? Gotta have a talk with the downstairs people, but that's besides the point. Let's talk about the news of the fucking day. And that is, on this week's ride, this one, we've got Drew the fucking intern, man. Which is really what I think he ought to change his name to. Drew the fucking intern. I like that dude. He's alright, you know, he's good, man. He does a good show along with his buddy, the Legend. I like that those dudes have some drinks. I just got back from a fucking Las Vegas tiki bar, man. I had a few drinks, and I heard once those dudes say that they thought they could drink me under the table. Well, shit. I don't think so. One of these days we'll have a thing. But let me tell you, I like those dudes. I like Drew the intern. Except for one beef. I've got one beef with that dude, man. And it's his fucking name. Drew the intern. He's been on that show for what, like 20 years? How could he still be a fucking intern? I think my problem with it is that the dude reminds me, when I hear intern, I think of Monica Lewinsky. Or as she's probably better known, Monica Blue Klinsky. Yeah. So what's gonna happen on this episode, fellas? Is like Drew the intern gonna drop to his knees and blow Goliath? Yeah, that would be a good episode, man. Make for some good fucking ratings. Shit, I gotta go, man. I gotta go blow some money on some blackjack. I don't know, some hookers, some blow. I don't know what the fuck, man. Anyway, this is Evil Mike Collins with a message for all of you. Fuck off. Yeah, you fuckers.
Well, just so you know, he was legit super fucked up when he sent that.
That wasn't even a question.
So, now that we know, alright, Goliath, you know, take the pants off, I guess. I don't know what the fuck.
No,
right.
Goliath had some assumptions of how this would go before the end of the podcast. So I mean, you don't want to disappoint him, Drew. Yeah. Especially don't disappoint Goliath, man. He's been waiting for this all week.
Here's the problem. As close as Florida and Georgia are, they share a border. I'm still 3 hours from the border, so it's not really going to work out. Maybe if we both hopped in our vehicles, by the time you bought your third bottle of whiskey, Slater, then we might be able to meet up.
There's a chance. No, I'm kidding. But this is supposed to be for Goliath. I mean, no offense, Drew. You're not really my type. But you know, and you're not really Goliath's type either. But
no, but you know, he likes he did just recently tell us that he likes Blue Hawk. So maybe that's the reason. Maybe that, you know, I call mine Blue Hawk. He says he likes to ride Blue Hawk. Maybe that's where Mike Collins got the idea.
That's perfect. You know, we all actually name our dicks here. Well, except for Garrett, who just calls it his dick. Have you named your dick? Has your girlfriend named your dick? Because that's always great.
You know, I've never thought about this. Back in many years ago, I had an ex-girlfriend that called my dick Mr. Sunshine.
Thank you for the name for this episode, by the way, which is Mr. Sunshine.
Mr. Sunshine. Oh my god!
But that was many years ago.
Well, you shared with us, what you shared with us about Mr. Sunshine, and we're trying to get to know you. Tell us about your coaster sutra. How would you have sex on a roller coaster?
So, I've given this plenty of thought. And it's not going to happen on a roller coaster, but it's going to happen on. There's one of two different Disney rides it could work on. I originally thought Peter Pan, and then I came up with the idea of Soarin' would also work with this. But you're going to need some sort of restraint mechanism. And it sort of reminds me of the Titanic, where Rose is flying, but the female counterpart is bent out in a flying position. Like Soarin'.
Oh.
And getting banged from behind.
Okay.
Exactly. You can fly, you can fly, you can fly.
See, when you said Soarin', I thought you were going to say something about a foot fetish, because that's really the only way I could have imagined how that ride would work.
Well, of course, we're faggots.
Well, that, and they dangle the nastiest feet right in front of your face.
That's true.
On that
That's
ride.
very true.
You always got to go top row.
So, I mean, beyond that being your favorite ride, like, what is like your favorite, least favorite ride experiences? Like.
Okay, so you asked both. You want favorite and least favorite, or did you just drunkenly stumble? I've
always been drinking. Give us both. Why the fuck not? Because, this can't be 4 hours long. So.
All right. Well, my favorite ride is definitely the Paratrooper at Fun Spot. And by that I mean my least favorite ride. I absolutely hate it. Okay. There was one time we were at an after party at IAPA and we were all hammered. This is why In the Loop started going to IAPA to begin with, was because we would get invited to all these after parties that included open bars. And myself and Clint rode the Paratrooper, and Legend tipped the Fun Spot operator to keep the ride going until I threw up.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm liking the Legend even more now. That's great.
Yeah.
So there would always come a time at the Fun Spot after parties where Clint would take our badges and been like, "You no longer can represent In the Loop. You guys are on your own on this one." And now it's the other way around. Now people legitimately invite us to come to parties.
Well, because alcoholics are fun, until it gets awkward.
Yeah, before we would have to find parties to crash. Like one year we crashed the Whitewater party, the people who make water slides. It's up in the penthouse of the Peabody, the fancy hotel down there. And then we crashed that party, and we were by far the classless people that were there. Everyone else owns parks and bought thousands of dollars worth of water slides.
Oh, well, don't worry now, because Ride This One exists now. We are by far going to be, trashier than y'all.
Yeah, at least you guys can say, hey, we're not Ride This One.
That's true.
In the Loop. Always
He's been drinking,
classier than
so
Ride
you know.
This One.
Yep.
Yeah.
Favorite coaster in Florida, I would say Kumba, down at Busch Gardens.
Oh, which I cannot wait. Literally, I'm counting down the days. That's one of those rides that, from a child, I remember when they built it. I remember the announcement. And this is 1993, so the stuff on the internet was not much. So you're like,
and it took 15 minutes for the picture to load.
Yeah, it fucking did. For me, that was my porn. I'm sitting there oh fuck yeah, oh my god,
Whoa. Interlocking barrel rolls? Oh my god.
And so the fact that I'm finally gonna get to go there and ride it after all these years, I cannot fucking wait. I'm counting down the days. So
it's so classic. It's like the epitome of a B&M coaster. It's it's what every coaster after it seemed to aspire to be.
Zero G roll, Cobra roll, interlocking corkscrews. Everything was. People say B&M are cookie cutters, and they're cookie cutters of Kumba.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
From what I've heard,
I love
haven't
it.
quite matched up to it. So bring it.
Mm-hmm. And very few have that loop that actually goes around the chain lifts nowadays. So that's still pretty special, just a Kumba. There's, only a handful that do that?
Yeah, I mean, I know Banshee does, and that's great. Let's talk about Kings Island.
Yeah, I did a nice 22-hour plane trip. Less than 24 hours from the time I left my apartment till the time I opened the front door again. Went up to Mystic Timbers for Media Day.
Yeah. So, what's in the shed?
Bats. That's a simple answer, bats.
Bats, huh?
Okay.
There's some cobwebs.
Just
lots
the
of disappointment.
shed's fine this year. It's going to be a disappointment next year when nothing works anymore.
Right.
Because it's Cedar Fair. But the shed's great this year. The way I see it is, I wasn't expecting anything. All of the coaster nerds that thought we were going to get drop tracks or barrel rolls or all of that are fucking dumb, because there was no way Cedar Fair was ever going to do that. So, to me, I like it because it's a covered brake run in the shade, so when the operators take way too fucking long to dispatch, I'm at least not sitting out in the baking sun. I'm sitting in air conditioning and listening to music. It's music from like 1983, because that's when the ride was themed to.
Yeah, but have you seen the music video for that song? If you haven't seen the music video, find that song, look it up. You will not regret it. Yes, I'm gay enough to know exactly what that song is. I'm too drunk to remember the name at the moment.
Well, there's like 6 songs, so...
Oh, okay. Well, every video I've seen has only been that one song. Shit. Well, fuck it. I'm going to edit that out. I don't even remember. But overall, the ride itself, where does that kind of land on your list, so to speak?
So it's definitely the best GCI. Yeah, I would say.
Have you rode Gold Striker?
I haven't ridden Gold Striker. That's the one up in the corner there that I haven't been to. That's sort of the one park of America I haven't been to. That Northern California to Seattle area. Other than that,
well, you're in Florida, so that's okay. But
don't worry about it. Because GarBear hasn't even rid it, and he's in California.
Yeah,
he's like 8 hours away.
No,
and he hasn't even ridden it.
He's
so
6.5 hours away. I know.
Oh, have you? You've been internet stalking me, haven't
Slater, there's this thing called traffic. And it might say that it's 6.5 hours, but it'll probably take 10 hours.
Yeah, I don't fucking care. No excuse. So
no excuses.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't really have a good excuse. I went up there a long time ago as a kid, and
well, there was nothing at the park then.
I sort of see it as a GCI is never a coaster that I'm gonna hop on a plane and get to, but when if the park has it, it's a nice addition. It's fun. It's got some thrill to it, and it's generally re-rideable because GCIs really are not overly insane.
Right. So overall, Mystic Timber is a wise addition for Kings Island?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say because you've got all of the coaster boys masturbate to the Beast, and they masturbate to the Racer. And if I look at both of those, I don't think either one of them are top 10 wooden roller coasters, but everyone at Kings Island thinks they both are.
Masturbating to the Beast is like masturbating to The Price is Right. So it makes no fucking sense to me.
That Bob Barker is.
I mean, I've actually been quoted saying if you ride the Beast during the day, it's like a rough hand job, but when you ride the Beast at night, it's like the most amazing blowjob ever because you can't see anything and it's awesome.
Right. So you don't know it's like some awful disease. So
you're what, more capable of going ragdoll?
Yeah. So you get thrown around a little bit, but it's way more fun at night. But Mystic Timbers kind of fits the good demographic in between them because it's a wooden roller coaster that is awesome, and I liked it. So I say it's GCI's best. GCIs are fun, so I see no problem with it.
So Drew, I've heard that you have some stories about some coaster crazies.
Yeah. Obviously, you've had someone ruin a date. I mean, are there any other situations that kind of stand out where you're like, oh, get the fuck away from me? Other than this right now, where you're like, ah, shit, I'm stuck.
Is this the one that you ran the fastest from?
I have to interject here for half a second because one of our first conversations, Drew, I mean, and we haven't like talked a lot. I'm not going to pretend like we know each other real well, but short conversations, you even like we talked about that just a touch. And you mentioned, they're going to come out of the woodwork pretty quickly. Like, And yeah, that's not a fucking lie. I've had 2 weird fucking stalkery people who have...
But those weren't even coaster people. Those were just crazy.
No, you know, things get weird with my dad. No, especially since he's dead. Oh, but...
oh, that necrophilia.
No.
Is that
Sex
gonna
with
be
no reaction.
That's going to be the next thing there down at Universal. That's the new Universal experience.
Well, no, that's going to be Jimmy Fallon in 6 months. I mean, there's nothing going on.
I mean,
there.
they're already flogging a dead horse. That's
right.
probably fucking your dead dad.
But no, I totally have had like. Okay, I put up a post that we're coming down your way to Florida, and I got some creepy fucking, like, messages, like, right away. What hotel are you staying at?
What's your room
number? I'm just like, oh, fuck, no. Where have we...
Meet me behind this Waffle House for the best blowy in Florida.
Wait, blowjob or blow? Because that might change what I'm going to do. So...
It's whatever you want it to be, baby.
So, yeah, what are your situations? Have you had other situations?
I mean,
like,
I always like to assume the person doesn't realize they're coming off as creepy as they are. Because the way Legend and I talk about it is we talk to the world at least twice a month, usually once a week, but at least twice a month.
Right.
And so people have listened to us for years and get our inside jokes and kind of things like that. So they on their mind kind of think they're friends with us. But we don't have a fucking clue who you are, but
right.
you get our friendship. So then when people like message us back and on Twitter and whatnot, and we kind of interact with them, people have just naturally been like assuming we're their friends. And then they're like, hey, so I'm coming in, like, when you guys want to get beers? And I'm just like, oh fuck, like I don't know anything about you. Like I can tell you your Twitter handle, and I've talked about roller coasters on Twitter and shit like that, but I don't necessarily know if this is beer talk. So a lot of times we'll go and we sort of go on like blind dates with people. And this is actually in the Loop Kenny Spoonman. He joined the In the Loop staff now, but he was one of these weirdos where we'd go out to dinner and we'd have like a secret code word, which this one was, the girlfriend's home from volleyball practice. Was going to be what I was going to say, and then we were just going to be like, so it's been fun, but we got to go. And so this has happened a couple of times where we've just had kind of been set up on kind of like blind dates with listeners.
Yeah. See, and I think this is where I'm going to be very different than you. See, like, I am a lover of awkward situations. Like, I really do. I'm in it for a fucking weird-ass story, because why the fuck not? Although that might change when I'm in the actual situation. The difference is you're like way nicer than me, I can tell, because I'm gonna be like, you're fucking weird! Leave me alone! Like,
either leave me alone or here's my room number.
Why didn't you say that to your friend at Knoebels?
Oh, shut the fuck up. I'm not bringing that up again.
I almost crashed my car in the Universal parking garage listening to that story.
Yeah, I will never live that down. Like, I am the guy that anytime camping comes up at all... Yeah, no, I hear that.
I mean, we've all gotten too drunk in our lives where someone had to be like, go to bed. But I've never created that much chaos that the cops have had to come.
Well, neither have I, but I felt personally responsible. So, when we're hanging out at your house, Drew, I promise it won't be that awkward.
I will say...
And that sound was Drew the intern hanging up from us.
Your camp story reminded me of a camp story that I had back when I was really poor and also going... This is when I was a poor college student at West Virginia and also insisted on going on these coaster trips. I wasn't walking all the way to the bathroom, so I just kind of came out of the tent and just peed in like a corner over here in our campsite. And then all of a sudden this fucking lamp turns on and there's this guy's face down there and he looks at me and he goes, "Not again!"
What?
What?
And I'm like, well, this is really weird. So I go back to I go back inside of our tent, which is camping's great on these road trips when you're poor, because to pitch a tent it's like
Absolutely.
$10. So I come back, go to bed, whatever, and then I wake up in the morning and there's like 4 of us in the tent, and I see that there's no more tent where I went into the vicinity, And I was telling the story, and this other guy was like, "Oh my God, you peed on this guy too?" And the other guy in our tent also peed on the same guy.
What?
Okay, you all officially win asshole award now.
This was at the
Wow.
King's Dominion campground on I-305 opening.
Oh God, that's amazing.
Wow.
Well, moving on from pissing on people, there is no way to segue that. Thank you, but I want to talk about the Gatlinburg area that will not stop building alpine coasters because there's another fucking one going in, and I am really excited about this because I'm not really sure if it's like a gay bear weekenders vacation place.
Oh man.
Or an alpine coaster.
Slater was so excited when he heard about this. He was like,
coaster and dick.
He was so excited.
For me as a straight male, realizing that there was a gay reference in the name, they have to realize.
Right. Okay, so you saw that and immediately were like,
oh yeah,
that's gay as fuck.
Yes. Absolutely.
Right.
Not necessarily. Whistlepunk Chaser. See Whistlepunk Chaser.
Yeah, but that's more pedophile kind of feeling, whereas as this is called, what is it? Rowdy Bear Mountain just sounds like straight up hairy dudes, anal, smells like ass. It's not, no. That thing, that's just...
This is what it's going to devolve into, I think. But do you really think out in Tennessee they're the kind of place that would really pander to the gay rowdy bears out there?
I expect them to be selling elbow length gloves for fisting in their gift shop. That's what I'm expecting, because anything.
That's the Rowdy Bear in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. But no, okay. So how many alpine fucking coasters does Gatlinburg need? Now, my opinion is just as many as you want.
Yeah. Whore.
They are credits, Goliath.
Yeah, they're on RCDB. They count.
They are definitely credits.
All right, thank you, Drew.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that you're the deciding vote there, so we win.
Yes, it's on RCDB accounts.
There you go. But how does that get past the board to say it's gonna be called Rowdy Bear Mountain?
I don't know. That it's such a conservative, Bible humping town. I can't believe. I can't believe it's going in. But and then the logo, the bear itself has this grin on his face, he's ready to take it in the ass.
He's like, I'm douched and ready. Let's do this. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But I'm excited. Hey, maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe it is just this big gay fuck coaster thing. I don't know. I mean, other people are not going to enjoy themselves, but sure, why not?
There's going to be at least one rowdy bear that shows up there. And it's going to be Slater.
Are you kidding? 90% of the theme park and roller coaster enthusiast community, as we have mentioned before, is gay as fuck. The fact that there was not a gay as fuck podcast before us is a fucking miracle. Okay? It's kind of crazy.
It really is.
It really is.
I feel honored to be the token straight guy on this.
Okay, and you know what's ridiculous is knowing what most gay coaster enthusiasts look at. You're the hot one, Goliath. Trust me. You have no idea. If you were gay, the amount of fucking dick you could get. You'd be so happy. But you're straight, so you're done. But
I'd get a lot of dick, but I wouldn't be able to ride many rides. So.
And Drew, you're a fucking cub. You'd be swarming in dick. It would be all 65-year-old dude dick, but it would be tons of dick. So.
That is part of the reason why I loved working at Cedar Point, because 90% of the males that work there were gay. So it was fantastic being the 10% and just kind of getting to go fishing, and it was awesome.
You're I can pick any girl I want because none of these guys are competition.
Yes, no,
for me.
Absolutely.
Wow. So is that really a thing? Can straight guys go to coaster meetups and find? Well, there's only
no, that doesn't. That's different. And I
guys.
didn't think that. I thought that was going to be the same way, but it's not. It's different.
No.
But
because there's no girls.
There's no girls.
There's just none.
You can find another straight male,
none.
and you can go like have like a dude bro you can be friends with, but you're not going to find any sort of cabin mate or anything.
No. You know, it's not actually true. I have me and Goliath both have a very good friend, Ariel. We've mentioned her a few times on the show, and she is a straight, beautiful girl, you know, and I'm going to say it, and she is obsessed with roller coasters. She is awkward as fuck. I love you, but you are. Anyone who's into roller coasters is awkward as fuck. And honestly, Drew, if like you were like in a relationship, I totally try to hook you all up. So it would be really awkward later during the breakup, and, you know, it would be a big mess, and I could talk about it on the podcast. But
yeah, that would be some juicy drama right there.
Oh, gosh, it would be the fucking best.
Okay, so before this turns into a 4-hour podcast like someone I know, why don't we move on to another question?
So we heard you talk about all those interesting experiences with fans. What's the absolute worst experience you've ever had at a theme park? And why was it at Six Flags Over Georgia?
Six Flags Over Georgia totally got pretty close. I went one time and got spit on by some fuckers on the Sky Ride.
Holy fuck.
Oh, yeah. I was walking down that pathway and totally got spit on. And I was livid pissed.
Right.
That I was like, I'm done, and just left the park and was fucking pissed.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
but I mean, that has to not be the worst. My least favorite park I've ever been to is Rye Playland up in New York. It is this old school classic park, which I normally love. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Kennywood, absolutely one of my favorite places.
Have you been to Conneaut Lake?
Yeah. So you actually were making some comment about how awful Blue Streak was. I have an ingrown toenail because of Conneaut Lake Park.
Oh my God. Okay. No. All right. I'm going to leave this drunken mess I'm about to say in, but tell us about Ryland, but then please tell us about that.
All right. So, Rye Playland, I was home for a couple of days in between moving to Florida for my Disney College program and working at Cedar Point. I went home to see my parents, and Rye Playland is right off of 95 in Connecticut / New York, right in that area, right on the New York-Connecticut border. So pretty simple. I can get it to my house from like 2.5 hours to my parents' house. Went there. First of all, it's one of those parks that shouldn't be charging for parking, but is charging for parking. And it was like $20 back when other parks were charging $10.
So
like,
Six
it was
Flags,
already
like Six Flags Great Adventure.
Wow. Yes. So it was.
That's more than Disneyland.
It was ahead of its time on charging for parking. And I go there, and there's like a fucking 45-minute wait to buy tickets to get into this park.
Jesus.
And they have like 10 booths, 10 lanes open. And they have 3 fucking people working the booths, and they would like help somebody, and then they would go to a next line and help somebody, and then they would go to this line and help somebody, and they were like bouncing back and forth. So it just took forever. Once you're in the park, there were no lines for anything, besides their Wild Mouse coaster, which had about a 10-minute wait. But operations were absolutely atrocious. It was the trashy New York City crowd that was at the park. Took forever to get in there. Just one and done to the credits, left, and I will never go back to that place again.
Shit. Fuck. And they'll be like the next people.
Got those credits,
they're like
though.
the next people who are like, surprise, we're building a B&M gig, and you're like, fuck, am I going to have to skip this?
God
damn it.
Yeah.
I have to go back there.
No, here's... Okay, so... You just a half a second ago, though, mentioned that you literally have been forever changed by Conneaut Lake Park.
Yeah,
Yes, tell us about this.
So normally I go wearing sneakers to a theme park, but I was... I got to backtrack a little bit. So back in 2009, there was the Pepsi Refresh Project, which Conneaut Lake won and got a fuck ton of money. They don't know this, but they can really thank the ride hosts at Cedar Point for this, because every single day, every single ride host voted for Conneaut Lake to win this.
I voted for them every fucking day.
Yeah. For no reason other than, but there was literally like memos on the break areas, like, don't forget to vote for Conneaut Lake for the Pepsi Refresh Project and shit like this. So we literally saved this park as an operator at Cedar Point. So I was like, I'm definitely going to go. So 2010 comes around, Blue Streak's back up and running, and I go, and I'm wearing flip-flops, which I never do. I don't know why. I don't even do it down here because there's so many people and you get stepped on and whatnot. But I decided I'm going to wear flip-flops. I go on Blue Streak. There's this insane airtime moment where my foot gets jammed in between like the seat and like the like nasty like metal part of the shitty old trains, bent my toenail, and to this day it's physically still bent in my foot, and I have to every once in a while get it like dug out.
Oh God! Oh,
whoa!
Well, that
Conneaut Lake.
So that's one of two scars I have from theme parks.
One person at a time.
Wow, that's something to put on your Tinder profile.
What's the other story? What's the other? What's the other?
I was at Europa Park for, and this was during the time where Germany is celebrating Oktoberfest. So Europa Park.
One of my favorite episodes, by the way, which that's gonna add, but like I loved hearing about that because like that's my dream. Oktoberfest? Are you kidding? Fuck.
Oh man, it was way cooler and also way dumber than I thought. Like
it's exactly what I expected, though.
Like there were so many things that were way better, and then there were so many things that were so fucking stupid that I didn't think were going to be as cool. But I go to Europa Park, and they have this beer festival going on like one night afterwards. It's like their dinner show kind of thing. Food's included and all this stuff. So we go up there, and the owner of Europa Park and some famous guy in Germany that I didn't know start pushing this old school.
That was David fucking Hasselhoff, dude.
Was it really?
I don't know.
I was going to say that guy's name sounds familiar. David Hasselhoff does not sound. I mean, David Hasselhoff sounds familiar. This guy did not have that name. But so I had no idea.
They probably could have afforded him.
So I have no idea who he is. But they start tapping this old school keg and just start giving out free beer to everybody.
Oh shit!
So in the process of like the free beer going, like I got, and it, not even like cups of beer, like it was liters of beer. I got 3 liters of free beer from this event.
Damn.
Whoa.
After I'd already been like drinking and whatnot. In this process, we're all really drunk, and some even drunker guy knocks over the bench that we're sitting at eating our dinner. And my father, who is just as drunk as I am, reaches over because our bench is falling, and he's cutting his chicken, and he reaches over for me to help him while still holding his knife, and just stabs the fuck out of my arm to the point where the knife is stuck in my arm, and to this day I still have a scar from this event.
Oh my fucking god. Remind me never ever to go fucking anywhere with you. I'm gonna get hurt.
Jesus Christ. You just went to a theme park, got trashed and stabbed. Just imagine what it would be like to go to Vegas with Drew here.
Oh man.
God.
All bets are off at that point.
So we go back to the hotel, and Europa Park security guards are like trying to talk to us, but it's German, and I'm too drunk to even try to like communicate right now. And so I just go up into my hotel room and just pass the fuck out in my bed. I wake up in the morning, and it looks like legitimately somebody was murdered. There is blood everywhere. There's blood on the pillows. There's blood on the sheets. There's blood on the towels in the bathroom. There's blood in the sink. There's blood in the shower. Like, there's blood everywhere. Like, I'm shocked I'm alive. And I'm hungover as shit going down to breakfast. We come back up, the girlfriend and I, and the maid is in our hotel room. Oh, wow. And I literally just walk in there, grab the park tickets, and so like the door is propped open. I just walk in there, grab the park tickets and my camera, and just walk out. And don't say anything, don't make eye contact with them, nothing.
What you don't realize is like for an hour afterward there were like the police there just looking to make sure no one was murdered.
Yeah.
That's great. That's fucking amazing. One thing I actually wanted to ask, it wasn't on our list originally, but I just kind of thought about it. So, you know, I'm not asking for like personal details about your family, because guess what? That's no one's fucking business. But what does your family think about like the podcasting and stuff? I mean, do you like, do they just think you're a fucking nerd?
Yeah. At this point, they've kind of accepted it. My parents were pissed when I decided that the first summer after college, instead of coming home and like coming back home from college and like being that college student who's home for the summer and sleeps in till like 2 and goes out and drinks beer, but he sees his family and all of that. And I was like, nope. And I never came back home from that. Like, so I went to Cedar Point and then never really made it back home that year. And then the following year I made it home for like 3 days. And in that 3 days I went to Lake Compounce, Rye Playland, and Six Flags New England. And then I haven't been home since then. And so to give you that was 2010. I haven't been home since 2010. So
Holy fuck.
Wow. They're used to it now, but oh man, they hated the fact that I was being that professional carny and whatnot.
Is that like a term your parents use specifically? Like Andrew, I cannot believe you decided to be a fucking carny.
I mean, it's cooled off now, but that's how it used to be.
Oh God! You see, my dad was a pastor, so you can imagine what my childhood was like.
But they actually really find In the Loop more interesting now. So like you'll see my mom will share things and be like, look what my son is doing and kind of things like that.
Do they listen? Do they actually listen to your show?
You know, they do, but not all the time. But it'll be the one time I say something that I shouldn't have said that they'll listen to the podcast.
Yeah, my mother is like, I want to listen to your show. What's this roller coaster show you have? And I'm like, oh no, you are not allowed to listen to this at all. Because it, like I said, my dad was a pastor. My mom is a lovely, sweet pastor's wife. You know, she's in church every Sunday, and I just think that she'd die just listening to one episode.
She doesn't want to hear how she doesn't want to hear how her son gets wants to be railed on roller coasters across the nation.
I'm lucky that they're like cool with the gay thing. That took long enough, so I can't even imagine listening that they would change their mind. They're like, never mind, roller coasters are the gateway to hell. I never knew that it was the love of millennium farce that was gonna lead you to damnation.
My family's got a pretty good sense of humor, so I'm sure they'll actually find this show way more interesting than In the Loop. Listening, so
well, there's various reasons for that, but anyways, no, I'm an avid fan, so
this isn't going to be a 4-hour show, right, Slater?
I can't promise that. I don't know. It depends how.
We're almost through the list.
Almost there.
We've almost made it. I'm going to move us right along with this. I'm going to ask, Drew, what is it that you're most ashamed of?
What am I most... I'm actually pretty good at not being embarrassed by anything because I run a theme park podcast. So it's...
So it's In the Loop, is that it?
So I hate to admit it, but it kind of is. Like, I don't talk about In the Loop at all at work. Like Clint's all about it. His work knows all about In the Loop and all of that stuff.
And he barely fucking does it.
Yeah. Like, the legend, his work doesn't know about it, but he works with a whole bunch of really hot girls that would have no idea what's going on. Like,
God.
When they were all sharing their social medias one time, he's like, you can follow me on Twitter at In the Loop Legend. And they're like, what the fuck?
Like, what is this, you fucking weirdo?
But I don't talk about In the Loop at all. So if you were to poll my coworkers, nobody would know that secretly I am mildly popular on the internet.
Right.
I mean, it's almost impossible to talk about the fact that you're on a podcast, let alone a niche podcast like a theme park podcast, without sounding like a total crazy nerd. I don't know. I can't ever discuss this with anyone.
No. At my job, and just so you all, if y'all wonder what I do, I sell storage units to Canadians, and it's as horrible as it sounds. They are not nice. That's a fucking lie. Just so anyone knows, they're not nice. But no, I told people, oh, I run a theme park podcast, and I shit you not, the girl who sits next to me, she looks at me and she says, oh, just shut the fuck up.
Really?
Yes, for real. She's like, no one fucking cares about that. I mean, she's a bitch and I love her, but you know, yeah, no, that was basically the response.
But continuing on the randomness, but I will say Infinity Falls is actually going to be really cool.
No, actually, I'm really excited. I love river raft rides. I'm actually really excited about that because I love them.
And hopefully Kracken VR is actually exciting too. It actually looks better than anything Six Flags has done. you're putting goggles on a gimmicky ride. Like, the point
Right.
of the floorless coaster is your feet are so close to the track. Like,
Right.
It seems rather
Well,
strange.
I mean, you know, we're putting it on drop towers.
They put it on
so-
everything.
Yeah, we are putting on drop towers. Goliath, you have a story about that.
Yeah, Six Flags, you know, continuing on with their lovely VR all of the things, they are adding VR to Zomonboro Drop of
No,
Doom.
Goliath, it's Zomonboro.
Drop of gloom.
They're adding it to Zomonboro Drop of Doom, which is it's the worst drop tower I've ever been on. I love drop towers. Straight up, drop towers are like my favorite non-coaster thing at a park. I love a good drop tower. And when they did that to Acrophobia, I cried a little bit inside. So what was your experience on Acrophobia like? Did you ever get a good experience on
oh my
Acrophobia?
God. So
no.
I had
no?
no idea. I got to tell you, like, I had no idea mine didn't work until a couple hours later when I like posted about it on Twitter and people were commenting about what the fuck are you talking about? So when I rode Acrophobia, I wasn't going to wait in line for it. So I literally like rope dropped, ran to the ride, was on the second cycle. I have my goggles on and I see the military guy who I sort of feel like he's like a paraplegic military guy because the legs don't move. And
right.
And you're looking around and you can see like buildings and whatnot and a helicopter. And then the ride starts going and my body doesn't move, but my head now detaches from my body and just starts moving around in a circle.
Oh God.
So
what?
So like my body is to the right and my head slowly floating away from the body. And then we get to the top of the drop tower. Meanwhile, my visual hasn't left the ground. I merely have my head has just gone around in a circle. And then my head connects back to the body. And then the ride drops. And then I can shoot my gun a little bit when I hit the ground. And that was my experience on Acrophobia Drop of Doom.
Wow.
So I get off the ride, and my buddy next to me, I was like, that was the dumbest fucking thing ever. And he was like, yeah. And we were talking about, like, I don't get it. Like, why does your head detach from your body? Why don't you leave the ground? Why is there spiders in all of the advertisements, but there were no spiders or anything? And we just, like, walked away like,
right.
That was really stupid. Like, I get why nobody likes it. And we...
Right.
And it was just like a total glitch out, so...
Yeah. But I didn't know until later when I posted on Twitter that's not supposed to happen.
That happens quite frequently, I guess, because I rode it 4 times when I was there the last time, and I only got one good ride.
Yep, that's some great technology. I could not be more anti-VR. I just, God.
It's like a Band-Aid that they're putting over any ride that just needs a little updating. They're like, fuck it, just slap VR on there. It's just a cheap cop out at this point, and no one's doing it great. No one's like.
But why are we putting it? Why are they putting it on Zomonboro? I mean, I guess it's completely forceless. It's truly the B&M of drop towers. So I guess I understand that.
You know, and they can market it. They can say like, we've got VR now. Come check it out. And most people, you know, that the general public doesn't have their Oculus Rift ready to go. So a lot of people are excited about their chance to try out VR.
Oh, don't get me wrong. When I tried it at Fun Spot the first time, that shit blew my mind, the VR on a coaster. And then I rode
the
it on
IAPA sample thing?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah.
And then I rode it on an actual coaster and not like this family suspended coaster. And I was like, this is really dumb. This should not be on any thrilling ride whatsoever.
Right.
And I think that's exactly what parks are getting confused with. I think this is really better for a smaller attraction to get like your general population to ride that kiddie coaster, so to speak. Be like, go ride this. This actually makes this really awesome because why are you putting it on like these huge rides? Those huge rides don't need help.
Right.
They
don't need the extended queue that comes from this stupid VR edition. Because any ride that you look at, not only does it increase with ridership, it takes an extra 30 seconds to a minute just to load these people on and teach them how to shoot their guns and stuff. It's
Jesus.
Oh, it makes me want to pull my hair out. I'm sick of it.
But I don't want to talk about VR. VR makes me angry. So
Yes.
I have another question I want to ask you real quick. We've kind of asked you a bit about like least favorite rides, favorite rides. But if there was anyone, friends, someone in the coaster community who you could have ride your least favorite ride for all eternity, who would you pick and why? Like, why?
Oh, God.
And what ride? You don't have to choose. You don't have to choose that ride at Fun Spot. You can choose whatever ride you want.
This is a question you should have given me like time to think about, because there's so many people.
Well,
that...
maybe if someone listening to our show would know, we ask every person.
So here's the thing. Like, it takes me about a month to listen to a single Coaster Radio episode, and so then And as more and more of these damn podcast things come on, and I start subscribing to more and more, the only time it's ever going to happen is if I go on a long road trip or hop on a plane somewhere. So I caught up for a little bit, but there's just so many now that I'm terrible at listening. I think I've listened to your episode 1, 2, 3, and 8.
Oh God.
I think that's what I've got.
Oh. Wow. Shit. Well, I hope we can entertain you next time you go on a long drive.
But, okay. It would probably have to be Tony Clark, and he's riding the Carousel of Progress over and over and over again.
He would probably love that, though.
But why?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but if somebody walks out of the Carousel of Progress room mid-show, they have to e-stop and find the person. And if they can't find the person in however amount of time before the ride's going to move, it replays the same show again and you don't rotate, and you have to sit through the same 10-minute show scene again before you can move. And I've done that once and wanted to kill myself. I can only imagine how many times you go around in a circle and see the movie before he would just figure out some way to hang himself in that room.
Just fucking lose it.
Yeah,
damn. Well, I'd say that's a pretty legitimate answer. That's perfect.
So, well, we know how Drew feels about Tony Clark. Fuck.
But I guess it doesn't necessarily need to be Tony Clark. I don't mind the guy. I think he does a good job at what he does. I also just think it helps that Cedar Point has the most obnoxious fans ever. If Cedar Point didn't have the most obnoxious fans ever, then he would not do a very good job at what he does. But he's really good at trolling, and the Cedar Point fans are so gullible and manipulatable, whatever word that is. So they're so perfect at just getting shit on, and they eat shit for breakfast, and they're like, this is great shit. So I think he does a great job at that.
He does do a good job, but who doesn't do a great job with their PR necessarily?
So I lost it at this.
Oh my God.
So we're about to talk about Worlds of Fun.
Cedar Fair's star property. They're number one.
Number one, absolutely. Which, a precursor for this, I love that literally a day or two after this happened, that the legend goes down to Worlds of Fun and everything is closed.
And yet he still said it's the least Cedar Fair park out of any of the Cedar Fair parks he's been to.
Oh God, that's wonderful. So, okay, for anyone out there who doesn't know what happened, I have a big fucking mouth. And the other day, it was the media day for Mystic Timbers. So, Worlds of Fun on their Twitter posts this small video that has a picture of these several boxes that are in plastic wrap. And they're like...
So, you say, I'll tell you it's not a fucking new coaster, so shut the fuck up and sit down.
Exactly. Yeah, so basically, they post a picture of the boxes telling Kings Island, oh, well, what's in the shed? Well, what's in our fucking boxes? I told them, it's not a new fucking coaster, that's for sure. So shut the fuck up and sit down. Now, here's the thing. I did not put that on their page. I did not tweet that to them. No. I did not at all. Okay? Because, honestly... It is a public page. We are representing podcasts. And to me, that's inappropriate. I'm not going to put it on their page because I do have certain limits and whatnot. But they found it, okay? They fucking found it within minutes. I found out listeners tweeted it to them.
There you go. We were so confused on how they figured that out.
Yeah, so thank you, David. So anyway...
It was David's fault.
But he tweeted it to them, and oh my god, Worlds of Fun did not like that at all.
No, they did not. But the high quality technical people they have there, they retweeted it.
Yes, they did.
Because and that was the thing that blew my mind. They actually retweeted they retweeted you.
Actually, no, they retweeted it twice.
And what's funny is that they retweeted it under the guise that, oh, we're just going to make this guy a fucking example. And they hashtagged it Slater Slade and roasted.
Yeah. Roasted. Yeah, they roasted me big time. Ouch.
Yeah.
No, but the best thing is that, they tweeted it twice. The first time they tweeted it, they left my swear words in, unedited completely to all of their more than 50, 60,000 followers. So thank you, Worlds of Fun, for that one. We actually got quite a bit more follows for that one. And then they realized what they did, and they quickly took it down and reposted it, and they edited it out. Oh, God forbid I said fuck. And they edited it out with a pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, it's like the classic deal with
They're
it
trying
move.
to be cool.
Oh no! How does Twitter work? We don't know. We're from the Midwest and we've never used computers before. Sure, this is what we have a degree in, and we work for a large corporation, but fuck us. So, and then they banned me.
Yep.
I am banned from Worlds of Fun's Twitter. They slayed me. They slayed me big time.
They slayed you.
You missed out on their 420 tweet then. You didn't get to see it.
Oh, no.
What
Are you
did
kidding?
they
I have
do?
access to so many Twitters.
Okay. So, Worlds of Fun tweeted on 420. For those of you wondering, this is how we do on this date. Hashtag Mamba 205 feet is high enough. Unless you want 301 feet on Steelhawk. Hashtag Happy 420.
That's the lamest fucking 420 joke I think I've ever fucking heard. And my corny ass uncle smokes pot and drops dad jokes on the daily. Holy shit, he should get a job at Worlds of Fun.
Yeah, but I just...
Yeah.
I gotta admit, I thought it was hilarious that a theme park was encouraging this whole 420 thing, and oh man.
Oh God.
That's bad.
Right?
It was the best, but I actually loved is I didn't know, we haven't been around that long. We have a decent amount of followers for how young our podcast is, so, and I'm very thankful for that. But I had no idea how fucking mean some of them were, because they were kind of like, well, you're just sad because he's fucking right. You all are terrible.
Well, once they banned you, I jumped in there and put the Dukes up for you because they were saying that they slayed you, which is bullshit, man. You were the one doing the roasting.
Actually, that's the best thing because honestly, I love who you were fighting with, Garrett and Drew. You know who he was fighting with. It's your unofficial meme guy, actually, who was staunchly defending
Worlds of
Fun, and then Garrett told him to bounce up and down on his giant cock. So
he was being such a little prick.
But what I liked, he ended up telling us to jump off of Mike and Evie's deck, which made us laugh so hard that he's actually coming on the show. So
that's all it takes. You just gotta
send
make one insult
laugh
our way.
Dude, I love Meme Guy.
Oh gosh, he cracked me the fuck up. That kid did not back down, which is the best thing ever. So I look forward to talking to him. But no, it was very interesting with Worlds of Fun. So
that was a strange, drama-filled interaction.
I believe you guys prepared a sound clip for him.
Well, we're creepy, and we have we've hidden like recorders in their offices, so we know exactly what went down there at Worlds of Fun. So here we go.
Oh my Lanta! Karen, come here!
Oh, what is it, Janice?
Remember that hilarious What's in the Box tweet you posted?
Yeah, I worked all day on that.
Well, someone retweeted it and said some really mean stuff.
What? Show me.
Here, it says, I'll tell you it's not a effing new coaster. So, STFU and sit down. STFU? What's that mean?
Oh, here, I'll internet it. It means shut the F up.
Oh, jeez. Well, that's just so mean. You worked so hard on that tweet.
Oh, I did. It took me 2 hours.
Oh, well, don't worry, dear. I blocked him. He's not gonna get away with that.
But if one person can see the truth about our park, it's only a matter of time before more people start tweeting. And it's gonna be nothing but F-bombs.
Not if we make an example out of him.
Oh, what do you mean?
Oh, watch this, girlfriend.
Oh, golly gosh. Did you just post that? Janice, it's still got the F word in it.
Oh, no. No, how do I delete? How do I delete?
Oh, I don't know. I only ever post.
Oh, see, guys.
Mail, motherfucker. Oh, we just got an email.
Oh, gee willikers. It looks like it's from the F word, guys.
Well, read it.
Dear Worlds of Fun, we here at the Ride This One podcast would like to extend the most humble of apologies. Slater did not mean to offend your delicate sensibilities with his vulgar vocabulary. We understand that you were excited about what's in your so-called box. So excited that you wanted to ride on the coattails of what's in the shed over at Kings Island. We get it. We really do. It's not fair. Year after year, you watch Cedar Fair give parks like Cedar Point or Kings Island coaster after new coaster, and all you guys get, if you're lucky, are old flat rides. But hey, they got you a new entrance. I mean, sure, last time Cedar Fair built a new entrance for a park, they also got Fury 325. But nobody cares about that. And sure, your park is in desperate need of tons of basic infrastructure work. Your paths are literally crumbling beneath the feet of your guests. Your bathrooms haven't been remodeled since 1970, and Timberwolf is a sad, painful mess. But hey, you got that beautiful new balloon statue up front, and Cedar Fair is finally giving you the money to retrack that pitiful mess of a coaster Timberwolf. Okay, yes, over the next 3 seasons, but don't be greedy now. $2 million over 3 years is a lot of money, and they had to pay for Valraven somehow. And yes, it's true that your newest ride, the Prowler, also needs retracking, but at least it's not caused any spinal injuries quite yet. We here at the Ride This One podcast get it. We really do. That's why we don't blame you that half of the rides in your park were closed for no reason last weekend. Don't worry, we know it's expensive to actually run your park. And we totally forgive you for removing the Orient Express and replacing it with nothing. And no hard feelings for removing the amazing Zambezi Zinger and replacing it with a Vekoma Boomerang. Actually, wait. You know what? No, fuck you guys for that one. But everything else, it's totally cool. We get it. So, we're sorry. We really are. We're sorry that Cedar Fair forgets that they own more than 4 parks. But on the bright side, please do tell us what's in the box. We're legitimately curious. Because now that we know what's actually in the fucking shed, we're pretty sure that what's in the box can't be any fucking worse. Truly yours, the hosts over at the Ride This One podcast.
Well, that's embarrassing.
So there was our letter, our open message to worlds of fun out there, but before we actually end the show, we want to give you a chance to ask us a question if you have any, Drew.
All right.
Got anything lined up for us?
Yes. I want to know what is the nicest thing you could possibly say about In the Loop.
Oh, God. I guess if I was really, 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 really drunk, I could manage to maybe fuck Legend.
It's the only 4-hour podcast that I can actually get through.
Yes.
True.
Okay. Agreed on that.
It's the only one. There's other ones that I listen to and I fast forward like crazy, but for you guys, actually listen all the way through.
Well, that's because for some reason we don't edit out all our ramblings here. Like, we're going on 2 hours and 4 minutes, and this podcast will not be 2 hours and 4 minutes. But if we're in the loop, we press record, we go, and then when we're done, we press stop.
See, that's the fun of it, though. It's kind of like hanging out with you. It's just hanging out with the guys.
Right, I mean, exactly. It's fun, but then you get the weird fucks that like think they've hung out with us for years, and then come up and ruin dates and say, "I like your podcast."
Just be happy you have them, Drew. You'll miss them when they're gone.
You know, it is something to be said about that. I don't think In the Loop ever realized we were going to be mildly popular and people were going to care. And I mean, we're almost at 14 million views on YouTube now, which is just mind-blowing because it's just...
Which I'll say, legit, congratulations on that. Like that's awesome.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Because it's literally just us walking around parks with cameras and shit, and occasionally we get invited to parks and stuff. Then we have to be on our best behavior if we get invited. And then we can't exactly share our true opinions because we were invited guests.
We are never going to get invited anywhere, and we're okay with that.
You know what? It's better that way because this is a true freedom that we have. We can say whatever the fuck we want without caring who the fuck we piss off.
That is true.
It's true.
But it blows my mind that people actually listen In the Loop. So we're actually mildly humbled by that. So as much as I kind of bitch about the public that listens to us, I wouldn't be mildly popular without them and their words of mouths and sharing and stuff like that.
Oh gosh, that's far too nice for this show.
It is. But 14 million.
Yeah, we're getting close to 14 million. We're probably about a week away from 14 million views on YouTube.
You know, Slater actually just posted a dick pic about an hour ago, and he's about close to 14 million himself.
No, 14.
I mean, that's how Grindr works.
14, sorry.
You obviously have no idea how Grindr works. Ew.
Man, you have I worked at Cedar Point for many years. I know exactly how Grindr works. When you're the only straight person in this dorm room of 8 people, I know exactly how Grindr works.
Oh fuck, man, that's gotta be awkward.
He's even got a profile. He just doesn't know about it.
Probably.
No, but I do know. I have this one friend, and she has a Grindr profile, and it's a picture of one of what we refer to as masturbating bears, and it's the log bears that they have in Pigeon Forge that have their hands like where their dick would be. And he's holding a sign that says "Everybody loves bears." And so she just trolls a bunch of people on Grindr.
Oh my god.
Growler,
this is exactly what I'm going to do for Rowdy Bear Mountain. I'm going to make a Grindr profile for Rowdy Bear Mountain, and we're going to follow that, and we're going to see what happens. And I'm serious as fuck. That's going to happen. So.
Oh my god. This is like viral marketing at its finest right here. They're not even going to know what hit them.
Right, and I don't even remember what Drew asked, but Goliath needs to answer it too.
I really like when you guys talk about experiences you guys have on your trips and stuff. You know, you tell us where we're spending you're spending our money and stuff. We give you Patreon. Oh wait,
no, that's the other podcast.
But we watched a video.
No, we give him YouTube
That's the other
pennies.
YouTube pennies.
We give him YouTube pennies.
Giving you so many YouTube pennies.
I've got it set up where it sits there and refreshes and continues to watch. So, the 12 million to 13 million,
right.
You're welcome.
Well, we appreciate
Great.
it.
Anytime.
Especially the people who watched our crayon video.
It's funny. I actually watched that for the first time the other day, just out of curiosity. Why is that your most popular video?
I have no idea, but it is like 400,000 views up on any other one of our videos.
It is so absurd. I mean, it's not like it's a boring video or anything, but like, why that one? Like, it's like, why that one?
That video easily makes $20 a month.
Holy shit! Wow, that's crazy.
Wow. On a slow month, it makes $20. It's made 1 month. It made $75.
And that's a lot of fucking views to get that.
The
like,
Crayola experience?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Really?
So,
that's the number one?
Number one by far. So if you guys want to find out what In the Loop's all about, just Google Crayola Experience on YouTube, or search YouTube for Crayola Experience. And it's the number one searched video, and you can find it.
Yeah, if you just type in crayons in the loop, it's first thing. Boom.
God. Oh, Lord.
Found it right away.
Eventually, you have to kind of have money come into the podcast at some point in some way. So we are going to actually start doing some YouTube stuff and a few other things. But
yeah, I mean, it just becomes such a part-time, full-time job that you really have to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, are you kidding? The amount of hours that that I put into this? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Like, that they put into
and
this?
It costs money, and not just time. It costs money to run all this stuff too. It
fucking does.
Definitely part of it.
So
we're gonna make a pinup calendar of all of us naked poses.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie.
Coaster seats.
The fucking numbers that we're getting and we're just literally recording episode 10 right now, and the numbers we're getting, I'm fucking ecstatic. I did not expect people to actually like the show this much this quickly. So I'm pretty fucking happy. So I can't complain. I mean, I know another person who they did podcasts for a year and they didn't even reach our numbers. But
I wonder who the fuck that guy was. Seriously, our best episode that we ever did on Park Fanatic is their worst episode here on RTO. How the fuck you pulled that off? But apparently everyone just
shameless
needs
promotion through Coaster Radio. That's how.
But we got that too. We got one. They one time shouted us out on one episode.
We were all talking about it. It came up on In the Loop weird because, I mean, your first intro was hilarious and you roasted on both of us. And then it just...
we roast people, we get them to mention us, and then people will look us up. It's as simple as that. So there you go. You're our stepping stone to domination. So
yeah. Thanks for helping us create your own demise.
Right. No.
We're taking over the world.
I tend to think there's nobody that listens to In the Loop that doesn't also listen to Coaster Radio.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for the most part, I agree.
We're like the fucking Pepsi.
Absolutely.
I was okay.
Wait. So does that make Coaster Radio Coke?
Yes. We'll always be...
shit, we're fucking Fanta.
You're RC Cola.
No. We're RC Cola.
Yeah, no.
If you're gonna do
Park
it right,
Fanatic was RC Cola. This is
Fago.
No.
We're Fago.
No. Park Fanatic was like Tempego at best.
Yeah, there you go. We couldn't even get juggalos to fucking listen to us. God damn it. Oh, man.
Okay.
Anyways.
This was great. This was a great recording.
Yes, thank you so much for being here, Drew.
Yeah, I'm hoping I gave you guys a couple of fun stories.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I have done so many things in the theme parks and just had ridiculous encounters and stories in my life of working at Cedar Point and being a fan of the industry that I feel like I have hilarious stories of the park, and some of them are not appropriate for In the Loop. So this has been a perfect...
I'll ask you, is there a story like that you kind of were hoping to share that you didn't? Because if you do, just tell it.
You know, I meant to take notes because I like to actually somehow be mildly professional. And I wanted to come up with stories. And I can't think of any that off the top of my head that I really thought was going to happen. I did not think the Mr. Sunshine story was going to come up, and I also didn't think the toenail being bent on Blue Streak was going to happen.
We kind of have this thing where we want to keep talking about these really tiny parks because eventually we want to get them to come on. We want to get people talking about these tiny parks that maybe they don't like. We want to talk about how hilarious bad they are in a way, but kind of to get people to go there. We want them to be popular for how bad they are in a weird way. Like,
oh man, I loved going to.
Oh my god,
Lake.
It's the weirdest fucking park I have ever been to, hands down. Hands down.
Like they just have a chance toboggan just abandoned in the park. So we started like climbing all over that thing. Like there's pictures of me sitting in the track, like just at the station pretending to dispatch trains and all of this stuff because there's nobody at the park. Like, so we're just exploring.
It counts as a credit. So if you though, Drew, if me, Goliath, Garrett came out there. And you wanted to, and pretend you're gay for a second, if you wanted to show us a really good fucking time, and getting laid is on the line, where would you take us? Like, where would you take us to dinner to show us a good time to, like, guarantee that you're gonna get some good-ass fucking dick?
How are you sealing the deal?
Definitely Chewy's.
Chewy's. I don't want that blowjob. I'm good. I'm good. So what's Chewy's?
So it's really funny. Orlando is known for, like, it doesn't have original restaurants. It's all chain restaurants. And so Chewy's is a chain, but it's cheap ass Mexican food that's fantastic. They have free chips and salsa like most of them do, but totally recommend Chewy's. If you're going to come down to Orlando and you need some place to eat, it's cheap, good Mexican food, Chewy's.
So you're going to take us to a Taco Bell ripoff.
Now, does your Chewy's have free nacho bar during
Yes,
happy
it
hour?
does.
That is the greatest thing ever.
Hey, Garrett, real quick, this is how we know that these two dudes are definitely straight, because we're talking about the concept of gay sex, and they're mentioning going to Mexican.
Yeah, no fucking clue. No idea.
Like, we don't, anal sex in Mexican is not a fucking thing, okay?
No. We can get tacos after we fuck, maybe, but that's about the only option.
The best time to have tacos, like tacos in bed afterwards. Like, that's the only taco you're gonna see me put in my mouth. So, okay, you know what? We're gonna end this all here. You know what, Drew? Thank you. It's been great. We hope that we've shined a light on Drew the Intern for all our listeners out there, all those people who are weird and, stalkers, we're doing this for you. We will include his personal address in the rundown. We might get legends in there as well. So, if y'all want to just show up, generally between 1 to 2 in the morning is best. So
if they're on a date, just feel free to walk right up to them. Yeah. They're really friendly. They want to talk.
Yeah.
Well, now at this point, we've both been in relationships for so long that it's not a big deal. But like, if you were to come up now, it's a lot different than if you were to come up like date 1 when I was just trying to have a one night stand. Like,
actually, one of the first things my boyfriend did, we've been together 7 years, was like, we need to get a fucking P.O. box. As soon as I registered the website, he's like, we got to get a fucking P.O. box because I'm not going to have any fucking crazy assholes showing up to our fucking house. I'm not having that.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I actually agree with him. We got a P.O. box just the other day. So, thanks, David. No. But again, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun.
He's the one that tried to play Ride This One to his wife on Valentine's Day, isn't he?
Oh, Fuck yes, I think so. Oh gosh, that was a poor idea.
God.
That is not how you get anyone in the mood.
His poor wife.
That's not how you get anyone in the mood. Oh God. Yeah, I take no responsibility for that divorce, but I will interview them about it. So okay, again for the 5th time, thank you, Drew. Get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to end this goddamn podcast.
You're yelling at him. You're the one that keeps talking.
The one who keeps drunkenly slobbering and randomly mumbling along here.
That is how I am all the time. Thank you.
You're like that kiddie coaster that you're whoring and they keep sending you around another time and another time, and you're like, I only needed to go once.
You're like, this is the 5th time. God damn it.
Listen, I've only had about 8 shots of whiskey.
It's expensive to rent those kids. It's expensive to rent those kids. Cheap. Uncle Kevin charges an arm and a leg.
So this totally led me into another story that I got to share.
Okay.
Here.
There it is.
Little
Excellent.
America, small ass family park up in middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. Like, I didn't even know it existed if it weren't for the fact that my GPS, back when people used GPSs, told me there was an amusement park here. Nearby the Wisconsin Dells, like an hour and a half away. So we get off the highway, and you're in like cornfields, like whatever Wisconsin is known for. It's not cheese fields, but whatever. So we go and we ride their kiddie coaster, and they sent us around like 8 or 9 times. And on like the 9th lap, it was just me and my ex-girlfriend, and we valleyed the fucker in the middle of the track.
Oh God.
So we're like, oh my God. So we valleyed this kiddie coaster, and the operator just like hops down and he helps us out, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna need your help to push.
Really?
Oh. And the 3 of us pushed the train back into the station.
Oh.
There's not even enough employees to get the train back.
It was just
grab the closest guest.
And then the news came and videoed it, didn't they?
the news in Wisconsin, like, nobody cared.
Well, the only like legit, so to speak, legit park in Wisconsin also doesn't care. Wisconsin Dells in general just doesn't care if people die. So I'm not surprised at all.
So yeah, that is another one of my hilarious scenarios. It's when I helped unvalley a kiddie coaster.
That's great.
The coaster that you valleyed yourself. You helped it back to the station.
Absolutely.
A true gentleman.
Good job.
Then he apologizes and said, "You guys can go again if you want to." And I'm like, I'm okay. I already got the 9 laps on it.
See, Slater would call that 9 coaster credits.
Oh, shut up.
You would.
But it's a great deal. You get 4 coaster credits, and it's like $12 to get into that park.
That's worth the numbers.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Because nothing makes you cool like a big coaster count, especially with the ladies.
Right. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. So how many coasters have you been on, baby? What?
Nah, baby. I meant that was my coaster count, not the size of my dick. Why are you surprised?
So, should we get to the final statements? I think it's about time.
Okay, yes. So, again, Drew, thank you. It's been fun.
We're sorry for the PTSD. You might need a psychiatrist after this, but that's just part of coming on Ride This One.
Yeah.
So thank you for enduring.
Enduring for sure, absolutely. So, I hope that you go back to in the loop, reinvigorated, ready to make more episodes because of this experience. I'm going to take credit for all positive future experiences in your life. You're welcome.
I appreciate you taking credit for it because that makes me feel special.
Man, that was so cool to have Drew the Intern on.
Oh, come on. Don't be a fan, bitch.
Oh, whatever. You're just jealous because he made this show fabulous again.
Yeah. Probably. People, please listen to us.
So thank you to In the Loop for letting us ride on your coattails for an episode.
Absolutely.
We love you guys.
And so, hey, by the way, we're in Orlando today. We're right here, right the fuck now, with the power of radio.
Yes,
we have transported to Orlando. So right now we are probably having a great time at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Now, if you want to come hang out with us here at Busch Gardens, Tampa, come hang out with us. We're there right now all day today. And tomorrow we are going to be at Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. And later we're going to be getting fucking fucked up and riding lightning at Fun Spot. Woo! Just tweet us and we'll let you know exactly where we're at a given time. So don't just show up and be like, where the fuck are you? Things change, so don't be a fucking idiot.
So where can they find you, Slater? On Twitter, where would they tweet at you?
Well, they're gonna find me at RTO Slater on Twitter.
And how about you, Goliath?
I'm also available at RTO Goliath on Twitter. What about you, GarBear?
And you can find me at RTO GarBear on Twitter, but I'm not going to be out in Florida. I'm still stuck out here in Cali.
Yeah, so if y'all want to go hang out with him in California, just tweet him too. I'm sure he'd be fine with that.
I'll just be staring jealously at the screen watching you guys enjoy the Florida part.
No, actually, if y'all want to go get fucking high as hell with Garrett out there, there you go. He'll smoke you up. You're gonna get like 2,000 fucking messages now. Like,
oh god.
Like, free weed? Fuck yeah!
There's tons of people that have been listening that had no reason to contact me, but they're like, holy shit, he's hooked too. I got the good grain. Hit me up.
Absolutely. And that's not the only place you can hit us up. We have a phone number, which is 26 Ride This.
Or that's 267-433-8447. And none of y'all motherfuckers are calling or texting like you should be. So you better freaking call us.
We got one text.
Really?
And he told us there wasn't enough pussy on the show. So I had Slater send me over a picture of his pussy so we could give it to our friend who wanted some more pussy on the show.
Careful, that pussy bites dick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I've heard.
It definitely fucking does.
We're also on the Facebook. Just search for Ride This One.
The Facebook?
The Facebook. We're old school. We're old school.
I'm going old school. I mean, you guys talking about your dial-up networking, looking up Montu and bullshit. So I'm going to go back to old school Facebook. I'm going to say the Facebook. Search for Ride This One.
And, we also, of course, have an Ride This One podcast at gmail.com. You can also send us high-quality MP3s there. If, you don't want to call us, you can also send us emails and, all of that shit as well.
Or you can send us high-quality dick pics to that as well.
Seriously.
Send nudes.
Or tit pics. Pussy shots.
Goliath is like, come on.
Poor Goliath. I mean, the poor guy's all alone. Let's poor gays, on our agenda, ganging up on him. I'm not really that sorry, but,
No, you're not.
I'm fucking not.
That's okay. That's okay. And I'm the one that's sharing a hotel room with this
It's true. It's true.
Although hopefully he won't be there. And hopefully he won't be there, so it's okay.
Are you fucking kidding? I'm going to be on a trip in Florida. You think I don't have my grinder going? Motherfucker, you going to be standing out in the car.
I know you do.
You're going to be out in the car for, I'm like, give me an hour.
Why does the car smell like this?
And they can also follow us on Twitter at Ride This One. That's our official show Twitter account. So make sure you're following there.
Absolutely, and I'm very proud of our show so far. So definitely follow us. And if you followed or looked at the show that you clicked on with this, you'll realize this is a big one for us. This is episode 10. Wow. 10 episodes. So we're like into the double fucking digits.
Right.
Congratulations,
Suck on
guys.
that, Coaster Radio. Yeah. I mean, sure, they're in the thousands, but whatever.
Hey, they're using TV show,
right?
Scheduling, whatever you call
and
that.
by the way, thank you, evil Mike Collins. Thank you.
Yes. I hope you got your.
Thank you so much.
I hope they upgraded you because who wants to look at a bullshit roof?
And by the way, Mike Collins, there are 3 motherfuckers on this show right now. So
yeah, it's not just 2 fuckers anymore, man. I mean, there's 2 main fuckers. I mean, and there's this like fuckboy that we added on. But he counts. He counts.
Yeah.
So please recognize his existence.
He does. We need someone to represent the West Coast, unlike any other podcast. I think we're one of the first podcasts that has someone from the West Coast.
Except for that bullshit Park Fanatic, whatever that was about.
Right. Yeah, that bullshit. Speaking of which, fuckboy, my drink is empty, so you might want to get on that one.
Let me just hop right over there, sir.
But seriously, thank you guys.
And on that note, I'm gone. See ya. Thank you.
No, don't go. We need you, or the straight people will bail.
We need his final thoughts.
We
Don't
do.
leave us yet.
And on that note of final thoughts, we are going to get the fuck out of here. Thank you guys so much for listening. But before we do, as you know, our new ritual is final thoughts. So, Goliath, we're going to start with you this time. What are your final thoughts?
After hearing your story of the cum wall at Conneaut Lake.
The cum wall? This is a completely different wall. The cum wall.
That's behind Conneaut Lake.
Okay. Gum wall. Sorry. I messed it up. So hearing your story about the cum wall there at Conneaut Lake, and now how Conneaut Lake tried to kill Drew, why the fuck would anyone want to go there?
It's a good question.
That's my final thought.
Good question. Garrett, final thoughts?
In the Loop thinks that they have the legend, but clearly they haven't seen inside my pants.
Very true, very true. Excellent.
Slater, what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, mine's rosy. Mr. Sun, shine, Mr. Golden Sun, hiding behind those trees.
Oh my god. And there it is.
There it is.
We really
so you know what?
Thank you.
Fuck every single one of you. We love you guys so much. So, we hope we see you in Orlando, and keep listening to our fucking show. We're terrible and we know it. Peace out, motherfuckers.
Peace out, motherfucker.
Peace out, motherfucker.
Ride This One Podcast. If you want family friendly, go listen to Coaster Fucking Radio.
Well, that's embarrassing.